I'm Drake Exalt Brandley, and I play Valorant for the Pittsburgh Knights. I got the name Exalt from
One CT, one site.
the meaning of the word. So the definition of the word Exalt means to hold something in high regard, and I like that definition. In the sense of you always have to carry yourself with, respect and always trying to be the best version of yourself. I think is where the word means for me. I found Valorant I used to play like a lot of Counter-Strike. So when I ended up quitting, I was just playing like Gears of War on the Xbox for a little while longer. And then the game was announced through YouTube or Twitter. I forget where I found it, but I remember watching like the original Project A release from Super Cakes and just thinking that like this is going to be my game. I was very excited to know that it was another tac shooter, very similar to Counter-Strike. Because I had played Counter-Strike for a very, very long time. So the moment I saw the game, I just couldn't resist. I knew I had to play it. My progression leading up to that was I started playing like console shooters. So I was playing Halo, Call of Duty, all of those games in the very beginning. And then I ended up getting a computer, and because I used to watch my dad play a lot of like Counter-Strike Source back in the day, and I remember asking him like multiple times. I was like, I really like I want to play this game. Like this game looks like a lot of fun. He would like land with his friends and stuff like that, and I would always like watch him play. So I was just I just asked him, and he would always tell me no. And then like one time he like caved in, and I ended up getting this like really old computer, and I started playing Counter-Strike Source, and I just played that and console shooters. Like some days I'd get on the Xbox, some days I'd get on the computer, and I just played for fun for probably the next, I would say 5, 6, maybe like 7 years of just casual play. I started playing when I was 9, and I had like a lot of casual play, and then by the time I was like 15 or 16, I realized that I was like better than the average player. I would be able to just go into a server and just naturally just be better than most of those people. And I just remember thinking that I always wanted to be in a server or against people or playing with people that are better than me so I can learn from them. So with that mindset, I ended up competing. ECA Open, ECA Pugs, just being around people who are better than you. I always wanted that. So I just kept playing and playing and playing. And as I got better, I kept playing with better people. And eventually I got to a point where I was like, I really like, I was graduating high school, getting close to that point. And, I kind of like thought to myself, I was like, this is like a career path, and I have to be very honest. Like, is this something I can do? So I gave myself a time frame, and I just gave it everything I got. And I'm happy I did, because I'm at a very, very good point right now. So when I was in high school, I think I was pursuing Counter-Strike at the time. So I was doing school, I was doing track and field, and then I'd come home and I'd practice for like 4 hours. And then by that time, it's like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm getting up at 5 or 6 to see how far I could get before I graduate. Because I knew that when I graduated, I was going to have to make a decision whether if I wanted to continue pursuing professional gaming. And that's exactly what I did. I quit. I was playing Gears of War for a little bit, and COVID ended up hitting. So we were in lockdown for like a month, and that's when this game came out. This game came out during lockdown, and I was like, you know what? We'll see how this month goes for me. I'm just gonna play the game every single day, and depending on how I'm feeling, I might have to pursue it again. So I played it, I enjoyed it, and I started competing. I think I was on a team in the closed beta, like the second or third day the game was out. So after, quarantine, and it's time to start to go back to work, I kind of just made the conscious decision to give myself the year. I was gonna give myself the rest of 2021 to see where I was gonna take myself, and If I was at a decent point, then I just keep doing it. And if I'm at a point where it's too far to reach, then I was just going to hang up the keyboard and mouse and, you know, focus on my future, because can't really give too much of my early years wasting my time on something that might not happen. So I've been a pro player for, I mean, I consider pro being able to do it full time. So since I consider myself pro since signing with the Knights, so probably about 3 months, and I am also 21 years old. Bringing up the fact to my family that I wanted to pursue esports as a career, and you know what I wanted to sacrifice getting to that point, it was definitely, in the beginning, they were pretty concerned, you know, as anyone should. So at first there was a little bit of pushback, you know, but they never really opposed of the idea, because I was very open with them. I told them, you know, where I was headed, and I showed them, you know, like facts, like, you know, hey, this is the improvement, this is what people see, this is what's going on. It wasn't as bad as I heard other stories. They were very, very supportive and just concerned at the same time. You know, they wanted the best for me, so it was like a little bit of both. How many hours I have in Valorant? I'd have to say, I have a lot. I did the math the other day. I had someone in my stream ask me, and my guess would be minimum 3,000 hours, max 6,000. But yeah, I'm somewhere in that range, between 3,000 and 6,000 hours. My favorite thing about Valorant is the versatility that the game has. You know, every time that an agent releases, it always shakes up the meta. I think that's what keeps the game fresh and exciting. Having that sort of, it's not the same wash, rinse, and repeat. And I think that's what makes me enjoy this game a lot more. On a monthly basis, I would try to stream anywhere between 100 and 150 hours. Some days are longer than others because of scrims, but I try to stream for 4 hours minimum. Sometimes I'm not able to do that, but that's my goal. That's what I shoot for. Yeah, so when I was competing in VCT with my previous team before Knights, we were called Headshot Percentage, and we actually were capable of upsetting T1 in VCT Challengers in front of like, dude, it was like, I don't know, 50, 60,000 people. We were on stream. And we ended up beating them 2-1. And after beating them, I remember like going to my mom and just like telling her, and I was like, you know, like this is it, like, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like before that game, I felt like a lot of people knew who I was, but I just never proved myself. You know, it was almost like, oh, you know, EXALT, like, yeah, you know, he's just a guy who plays ranked, and you know, he's good in ranked, but he's not good in matches. And I felt like after beating T1 and having the performance that I had against T1, I think that kind of earned my respect in, I guess, the scene. Everyone kind of just was like, okay, this guy can play the game. And then after that, I just kept making sure that I kept popping up. I kept making sure that people couldn't ignore me. So that definitely was a huge catalyst to my career, was beating T1 at the time that I did. Going forward, our goals as a team and as a Knight is to, you know, compete, do the best that we can, and qualify for these events and go far and do big things. And moving on to into next year, just continue to do good, compete, get better, and be the best. That's it. Just be the best. If you guys want to catch me streaming, I stream at twitch.tv/exalt. Normally I stream every night after practice, so you'll catch me between 11 and 12 a.m. Eastern. I usually will be live for about 3 to 4 hours before I go to bed. So if you guys want to come in, hang out with me, I'm always having a good time, always listening to music, dancing on stream, acting like an absolute doofus. And I hope to see you guys there.